Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by for this special video. First, I want to start things off by saying thank you all for all the support and love you showed me in 2024. This has been an awesome opportunity that I've had to express and share my love for these DC Multiverse figures with all of y'all. And I'm so happy that, well, I get to do it. It's fantastic. I'm having so much fun. I'm truly enjoying my collection. I don't open everything, review everything I buy, but the ones that I do review and open up, I really treasure and have a lot of fun doing it and sharing my passion with you all. So thank you so much. 2024 has been a really spectacular year for McFarlane Toys, and especially this DC Multiverse line that we've been collecting and sharing and engaging with. So we're going to do our top 10 DC Multiverse figures of 2024. Now, I do have some special criteria that we're going to run through. Three rules that I'm kind of sticking to help qualify to make this the best of 2024 DC Multiverse figures. So, the first thing, if I had to do toy surgery, taking this figure out of the packaging, then it's not going to be on this list. If I had to replace ball and neck joints, if I had to repaint a figure before even do a review, or give this figure that toy surgery treatment, boil and pop, switch out limbs, switch out pigs. Yeah, it's not happening. So, secondly, is there value in the figure? Now, we've gotten a lot of figures, and some of these collector's editions, man, they are not worth the price. So that's another one. If it doesn't meet that criteria of added value, it's not gonna be on the list. And third, it's gotta be fun. Once you take that figure out of the package, get that whiff of that fresh new plastic, and you just want to play around with it and put in action poses and have battles, that's a factor. Doesn't have those three things, the figure will not be on the list. Now, I'm going to do some honorable mentions that came so close to being in our top 10, but just didn't have that certain oomph to give it that push to make it in my top 10. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at our top 10. Sort of came down close, but you just didn't make it, kind of our honorable mention. So first, I want to start off with this figure here. A figure that I've been exceedingly anticipating and hoping it was better than it would be, and that is our Starfire from the Titans. This was a collector's edition figure, beautifully sculpted, really nice detail in the face, the hair, but unfortunately this figure came with bare bones nothing. Two energy pom-poms that wouldn't even fit on the figure, and man, this totally could have been just a regular price $25 figure here in Canada, but unfortunately, it was a $39 figure and just didn't hit the mark on value. So we had to pass that one on. So Starfire, great figure, but not quite up to snuff for this list. Another figure. Well, this one here. One of my favorite Superman figures, but coming in at a lefty price of only $25. You got a cloth wired cape. You got some really nice classic metallic S logo going on there. The best Superman head sculpt without a doubt. But with this re-release, and we've seen this figure released quite a few times already in different paint schemes, they didn't replace these G1 ball joints. They didn't give them double jointed arms, which would have been an easy swap out. He just missed the mark on a few things, which made this figure absolutely amazing. It is still a very good figure, but man, just not good enough to hit that top 10 with a couple slight adjustments. Price and toy surgery, we can make this guy into one of our best figures, but that's doing toy surgery to improve a figure out of the package. So unfortunately, he's not in the running. Another figure that we just reviewed here on the channel that I really enjoyed, and that here is our Damian Wayne Robin, Page Punchers Damian Wayne. Absolutely spectacular sculpt, beautiful cloth wired cape with a hood. But the thing that holds this figure back is the articulation in this torso. It's a solid piece of rubber overlay that totally kills any articulation in the abdominal region. And for Robin, you need to have that extra bit of articulation. And unfortunately, because of that, kind of kills the fun factor. I'm playing around with this figure and putting in some crazy dynamic ninja poses. So unfortunately, he didn't make the list. Still a great figure, but not in my top 10. Another one here. So close to hitting the mark, and that is the Captain Boomerang Collector's Edition figure. You got this beautiful cloth leather goods jacket, which is just fantastic. The head sculpt is fantastic as well. Great scarf. Got some good accessories. This kind of fits the moniker of that collector's edition figure, but we had to do toy surgery because the neck was just so far down. He had no articulation really in the neck. We added a longer ball peg and gave him all sorts of range of motion and really improved the overall quality of the figure. It's still an outstanding figure, but just you had to do toy surgery to make it better. So unfortunately, he's out of the running as well. Another figure. This one is a pretty new release, and again, this figure came out a few years ago, but man, he should have gotten the better kind of treatment. This is a great figure for its time and one of my favorite Superman figures. But unfortunately, with a re-release and a very expensive re-release with Doomsday, this figure cost $100 Canadian, and was it worth the value? In some respects, yeah. In some respects, no. This figure definitely should have had a brand new head sculpt to go along with this body buck. If you're not going to improve the body buck, which is pretty solid for being 2 years old, still looks great, but we could have got a brand new Henry Cavill head sculpt. We could have got rid of these ugly ball joints and given us new sculpted ball joints. They did add the cape. The cape was a great touch. Lots of material, a strong wire running through it as well to give us all sorts of articulation and movement. But unfortunately, it just fell through the marks without having that extra upgrades, which I think we definitely needed to upgrade our Henry Cavill Superman. So unfortunately, it's not going to be on our list. So yeah, I might be a little tough on some of these figures, but we want the best top 10, and that's the criteria. We got a strict criteria, but I think we're gonna get what we need in our top 10. Another figure, recently released. I really enjoyed this figure quite a bit, but again, this is a re-release of a body block that's been used, had a lot of faults in it, and unfortunately, they didn't improve on this new release. They did add an absolutely beautiful paint job on this figure. The metallic green shines so brightly. It is absolutely fantastic. Comes with a couple constructs, but unfortunately, these are recycled from the Dawnbreaker 2 pack. New head sculpt, which is pretty darn good. It just seems a little off. It's like a little too big for the body, and the body just has some issues, unfortunately. Long arms that just don't suit it. Legs that are just too short. Should have been extended a little bit. I'm thinking of doing toy surgery on this guy to extend the torso and try and give it a bit more height. But man, it's just a couple things they missed here. And again, ball pegs, really nasty pegs that don't even match the metallic green. So you'd have to repaint that metallic green to match with the overall boot, which is a downfall, unfortunately. It does have some great aspects, don't get me wrong. The head sculpt is pretty damn good. The skin tone looks fantastic. And this green is absolutely amazing. But for my Green Lantern, and this is a hotly anticipated Green Lantern figure, we got kind of a phoned in reuse with a real nice paint job. That's about it for this guy, unfortunately. Now this figure hit a lot of buttons on the collector's edition value, but we had to do toy surgery on this guy, which was so disappointing because it is a spectacular version of Batman. I really, really enjoy the figure. All the accessories, the lamppost, the extra head sculpt, that is a thing of beauty. It is so damn good. But unfortunately, this figure had a problem. So you can see he has his batarangs in his hand here. Unfortunately, those were the same casted plastic as this blue and just looked really odd. So I had to repaint each one of these batarangs in a flat black. I'm probably going to do a little bit of dry brushing to give it a little bit of wear on it. But we shouldn't have had to do that for a collector edition figure. They should have painted those batarangs because I think this figure is absolutely spectacular. Even with all this battle damage, it still just has a fun quality. Like I talked about, you want to get it out of the package, you want to play around with it, put it in poses, epic battles. And unfortunately, it was so damn close with this guy. But the fact that I had to repaint these batarangs, it just killed it. But still an amazing Batman and one that should be in your collection. Still got to do a little bit of toy surgery to make it work, but man, it is phenomenal. So there's just a couple more figures here that are honorable mentions, and this one, now he's been in quite a few of my shorts and building up my Justice League roster, but man, Red Tornado just missed the mark. He's a fantastic figure. Love the Cyclone effect piece here, but unfortunately, what was holding this figure back didn't have any Cyclone effects for his hands. That was a necessary included accessory that would have made this figure definitely in my top 10 because it's a beautiful sculpt, an absolutely fantastic paint job. A lot of people hated the gold. I love the gold. It just set him apart, made him really stand out as something regal, something special. And this was, I believe, a gold label exclusive as well. But man, why couldn't we got some extra tornado effects for his hands? That would have been perfect because he just begs for, a tornado blast coming out of his fist, his hand. If they would have done that, this could have been definitely in my top 10 for sure. And our final honorable mention before we start cracking into our top 10 figures is this guy here, our Cyborg Superman, a highly anticipated figure that everyone was so excited for, but we didn't get Hank Henshaw. We got this version. We got Kar-Zor-El's father. This guy's from the New 52. He's still a great looking figure, sculpted beautifully, but unfortunately the thing that got this guy out of contention for running for the top figure of 2024 was the paint. Before I even review this figure, I had to do toy surgery and repaint a lot of this figure. It did come with this really nice metallic silver, but unfortunately we didn't get that metallic silver on the chest, the face. We did get, I still kept because I didn't repaint this really lackluster grayish silver, which just didn't suit and didn't match with that metallic claw. So unfortunately, that drove this guy out of contention. Had to repaint it, take it apart, paint the spacers, the jawline, the neck. And it is, guys, one of the best figures. I am so happy he's in my collection. But you shouldn't have to do that extra paint and toy surgery to make it look better than it should have. Sculpt is awesome, but man, just lacking in that metallic silver paint. And unfortunately, it didn't make our top 10. Now, there is one other figure that is kind of like an honorable mention, but something I want to discuss, and that is this figure here. That is the Manhunter. Absolutely awesome figure. A platinum chase, an exclusive, hard to come by. A definite army builder. A lot of people wanted to collect. I wanted at least probably 4 or 5 of these to be surrounding my Cyborg Superman, and he could be his henchman. And unfortunately, this was kind of locked into a platinum chase program where there wasn't a regular edition. You were lucky to find this figure. I was very fortunate here in where I live that I was able to find 2 of them, probably 4 in total, but I left 2 for other collectors because we all got to, share in this collection and this community and hopefully help people find figures that are really tough to find. I didn't want to be greedy and take all of them. No way. I'm very happy with the 2 I have. One to keep in the package and enjoy, and one to just display and really have some fun with. Now, one great aspect about this figure was the faceplates. Yes, this is the first DC McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figure that had the interchangeable faceplate that we know and love, and I'm very, very happy that we did get some interchangeable, well, one interchangeable faceplate for this guy, because it's just an awesome figure to have this battle damage faceplate. And I wish a lot of people would have had the opportunity to find this guy at regular retail online at a regular price, because it's such a great figure. But unfortunately, because it was locked behind that platinum chase, kind of get lucky to find one, kind of hit a bit of a lottery to get one, that held it back. Unfortunately, because of that, I can't include him in my top 10. He's a definite honorable mention, but a bit of, please, McFarlane Toys, stop doing this. Stop giving figures that we really want that are extremely well done, hiding them under this platinum chase and make them very impossible to get. I understand it's business. You want to have people hunting for these figures, going to stores, driving business to Target, Walmart, wherever, but man, have some way of getting these figures a little easier down the road. Put them on your website, do something to make it a little less frustrating for us collectors that are supporting you guys. So there you go. That was our honorable mentions for DC Multiverse. Now let's get into our top 10 figures, which I am very, very excited to share. Throughout this entire year, we've collected a lot of figures. We don't collect every single figure. We collect figures that we enjoy, that bring us some happiness, right? And that's what these collections are supposed to do. Bring us some happiness and some joy. So let's see how we do with our top 10. We'll just move the camera a little out of the way here so we can kind of adjust and focus on the figures at hand. So this is a figure I didn't even review. Now, that's kind of weird that I put him in my top 10, but once I got this guy open, and as you can see, he has beautiful packaging. We're talking about Mr. Freeze. He's right in between our Tim Drake Robin and Green Lantern. Some of the best artwork that I saw in the back, and it really translates well into the figure that we're getting, and that is Mr. Freeze. Now, he's number 10 for a lot of reasons. We got a first release of this figure that was really lackluster, and I did not like that figure. I was planning on opening them up and repainting them into these colors because, man, it just did not do him justice. But this version is the one we should have got, and that's probably why he's on kind of like the bottom of the rung here, but he's still a spectacular figure. When I look at him, when I play around with him, the voice actor of Mr. Freeze from the Batman animated series just resonates in my head, and it's just a fantastic looking figure. Big, bulky, beautiful metallic paints throughout. This looks kind of like a custom, right? Because you got this beautiful shade of blue, the metallic silver. You got his ice weapon as well, and blaster with a bit of ice coming out right at the tip. That looks fantastic. Details on him are just beautiful. He's one of the best sculpted figures that we've gotten in quite a bit of time. And the fact that you can remove the helmet and you have this beautiful head sculpt of Mr. Freeze, man, it just invokes a lot of Batman the Animated Series, which is one of my favorite shows. I remember watching it when I was growing up, and I absolutely loved it. Just an amazing figure. I'm so happy to have a figure this good. A great representation of Mr. Freeze that can go in your comic book line, that can go in your movie verse. Just spectacular, and I'm so happy he's part of my collection and definitely in my top 10 figures of 2024. All right. Number 9. Let's take a look at number 9. That is our Silver Age Digital Green Lantern. A lot of good aspects about this figure. The best part is that head sculpt. That head sculpt is one of the best versions of Hal Jordan we've gotten in this collection of DC Multiverse figures. He is just spectacular. He is so fun to play around with. He's on the Animal Man body buck, so you know you're going to get some great articulation. And I've had so much fun playing around with this guy, putting him in action poses, dynamic, epic battles. Just a fun figure to have. And if you're a Green Lantern fan like I am, he's a definite must-have figure. So that's number 9 in our figure countdown. Number 8, one of my favorites from the Justice League JLA Build-A-Wave of Plastic Man. We got this beautiful version of Aquaman, and this is just a spectacular version. Being a fan of Aquaman for as long as I have, and gone through all of the, oh, he's a joke character, he's not that great, he just commands fish. We got this awesome 90s interpretation where we had the long hair, the hook hand, just a cool dynamic for the 90s that really carried over into what we got now in our Aquaman. In a sense, we got the long hair still, we got the beard, we got all those kind of Jason Momoa aspects and touches. But this, for an action figure with a brand new head sculpt, which just looks so damn good, beautiful sculpted details and paint throughout this guy's armor. You see all the dings and just banged up metal. That's so nicely done. The claw, which has some posability, the hook hand. Man, it's just an awesome looking figure. Even the Platinum Chase version, which I never found, had a slight variation in the deco here, just a brighter green. This was a darker gunmetal color for the chest harness. But still, either one you got, I think you're going to be damn happy. This is one of the best Aquaman figures in my DC Multiverse collection. I'm going to say the best. This is the best Aquaman figure in the DC Multiverse collection that I have acquired. And I absolutely love the articulation, the detail, just the fluid mobility. Man, and he is so fun to pose around with in underwater scenes. I'm really looking forward to that new Justice League Task Force Aquaman. See how he compares. Maybe do a little bit of toy surgery, pop that head onto this one. But yeah, I'm really excited to have this guy, and he's definitely one of the best figures in the collection. There you go. All right, let's grab our next figure. Coming in at number 6, a figure that I've wanted since I was a kid. I wanted a really strong representation of this Adam West Batman. I know a lot of people didn't like this Adam West because, well, the cape, yeah, it's a hell of a big cape. It should have been, they've got this cape conspiracy going on with him and Hugo Strange, how the cape should have been reversed and swapped. And you can physically do that if you have the Hugo Strange. I haven't done that because I'm actually okay with this cape. I like the billowing cape, the longer, more flowing cape on this Adam West Batman from 1966. It's a very cool figure. It really hits a lot of the nostalgia bugs that you got with this figure. I remember watching this show in reruns in probably the 80s, I guess, maybe. Yeah, probably like 80s, 90s, maybe around there. I remember watching it and just enjoying it. I think this was my real first super exposure to Batman, and I thought this was Batman. Okay, he's punches somebody and pow and biff and all that kind of sound effects go off. But having him in action figure form, he hits a lot of the nostalgia, but he's just a great looking action figure. He's super detailed. The costume is true to the source material, and that head sculpt is so damn good. The only thing that's kind of holding it back is they should have included an unmasked Adam West. They did that. Boom. I think this guy would have been a lot higher up on our top 10, but unfortunately, he's not quite there yet. He's in at number 6, but still an awesome, awesome looking figure that I greatly enjoy. Now, this one, I think this is going to be a little bit of some controversy with this figure set. Yes, it's a set. We're talking about Bane and Batman. You got this 2-pack, which is incredibly well done. I have enjoyed this figure set quite a bit. I'm so happy to get these figures for the first place because I missed out on Bane the first time around. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get it. He was next to impossible to find and is extremely expensive on the aftermarket. So we've had to kind of settle for this, and I'm glad I got this 2-pack. Bane is absolutely awesome. He is one of the best mega-sized figures that I've opened up, played around with. His tight joints, his articulation is flowing, and they fixed a problem which, man, I wish they would have fixed on our Damian Wayne Robin. With that one-piece torso, here we do have a great sculpted torso, but it doesn't have the abdominal articulation. It does have a ball joint in socket that connects here that gives them some extra range of motion, and that is just awesome. The blue highlights from the comic panels do it justice as well. I thought, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but it is so damn good. It just evokes so much comic book goodness, and Bane is just massive. One of my favorite figures. Really do enjoy this figure set, and of course this guy here as well, the survival mode Batman. Probably the first time I've really enjoyed the Nightfall body buck because they use this to perfect extent. Extended the torso to get the back-breaking pose, the color scheme, the cape. Man, this cape is one of the best capes from DC Multiverse. It is so well done. The two tones, the strong wires running through this guy too. Man, he is just fantastic, and I'm so happy to have these two figures in my collection. They are two of my absolute favorites, and just the dynamic pairing between these two, it's just phenomenal to have these guys together. So, yeah, really happy to have these guys. And now we're moving into our top 5 figures. So, these top 5 figures are really hitting those 3 criteria that we talked about, making sure we don't have to do toy surgery upon opening these figures, having great value as well, and of course, just that fun factor, which, you gotta have that fun factor. These are toys. You gotta have some fun playing around with your figures, definitely. Okay, so a slight little adjustment here, and let's get our other figures into this procession of DC Multiverse goodness. I hope you guys are having a great New Year's Eve. This video is being filmed on New Year's Eve. Kind of waited till the last minute because I was hoping we get another haul, but unfortunately, they got pushed back a few more days, so we'll have to wait for that. But I'm really excited to share this with you, and I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your top 10s. If you disagree, agree with me, Whatever the case, definitely make your voice heard in the comments. All right, without any further ado, let's crack into our top 5 figures. And I really, really love this figure. Our electric blue Superman from the JLA Build-A-Wave, Plastic Man, absolutely fantastic. What an amazing figure this guy is. I never thought we would get this version of Superman. It's a very niche kind of version. It came out in the 90s. There's a red version as well that we were very fortunate enough to get as well. But taking this page puncher Superman, and we talked about retooling and reusing the same body block, but to a different extent, and they just nailed it with this one. I think they did a stellar job making this version of Superman electric blue. I guess we'll call him electric blue Superman. He is absolutely fantastic. The effect pieces, not my favorite. I wish there was a better clip-on method for these guys, but just the overall appearance of this figure. The head sculpt is one of the best. Check it out. It looks just incredible. The paint job is so clean and crisp. No lines that are bled through. There's no white bleeding into the blue or the blue into the white. It is just a solid action figure. And getting this guy in the package, I just had to put him on a flight stand, get him into some action poses, and man, he is absolutely incredible. A must-have figure. If you don't have this figure in your collection, I think you're missing out. If you got the red one, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Either one of these guys, the red or blue, is a definite must-have. But the blue one, there's something about him that's just so damn cool. And I truly wish they would have made a 2-pack, maybe a gold label 2-pack of both of these guys. Put them in with a piece of a building, some extra energy effects constructs. Would have been spectacular. But this is our number 5. All right, our next figure here, you've heard him mentioned a few times throughout this top 10, and that is our Plastic Man. I love this Plastic Man figure. He is so well done. Came with tons of display options. We had a alternate head, which is really capturing that Plastic Man essence, that goofiness. The goggles look amazing as well. You also got another effect arm to go along. Wrapping around, making a lasso. That's so great. And the fact that the arms are interchangeable, so you can pop these regular arms off, put these ones on if you want, and it is fantastic. They did a really great job with this head as well. You know, it's got that dynamic kind of stretched out neck that looks so damn good. Really kind of goofy snarl. And of course, you got these really creepy heads coming at you as well. Would have been awesome. I mean, just awesome if we had bendy wire in these arms so you can articulate them a little bit more, because unfortunately they don't have any articulation. And that's why he's a little bit lower on the top 10, because it is an absolutely phenomenal figure and one of my absolute favorites. I'm so happy to have a Plastic Man. Never knew I really wanted a Plastic Man figure to begin with, but damn, we got an awesome version of Plastic Man in DC Multiverse form. Very fantastic figure. All right, guys, now we're hitting our top 3 figures. And this one is one that we just reviewed a little while ago, and a figure that I believe is definitely one of the standouts of our DC Multiverse. This is the collector's edition version. We got Mr. Trevor from the JSA. Now, what makes this figure stand out so much is the articulation, the stylization, the value. I didn't have to do any toy surgery on this figure, and as soon as I got this guy out of the package, I wanted to put him in poses. I wanted to switch out the faceplates. He does come with 2 other faceplates as well. Kind of got this really nice matte finish on the T mask. It looks so damn good. We got this mask as well. Really well done faceplates. I really enjoy the expressions we can get. Got that screaming head going on, and of course, this was the kind of thing that put it over the top. This amazing faux leather soft goods coat. It is so damn good. I love a figure without the jacket. With the jacket, it looks great. The only thing holding it back, we didn't get Fair Play written across the sleeves, which would have been just perfect and made this figure probably one of the number ones. It is really damn good, and I'm very happy to have it. I think definitely if you see this, or the Platinum Chase. And what I love about the Platinum Chase about this figure, it's not some garish repaint where he's like glowing kryptonite green or something like that. Basically, you're getting a black mask, T mask, instead of the red. You're getting a bit more black on the legs, and that's it. Great to have either one, and I think you'll be happy to have either one in your collection because this Mr. Terrific is damn good. I'm very happy to have him in the collection, and he's coming in at a very strong number 2. This was a tough one between this guy and our actual number 2 because both of these figures are stellar, value, fantastic, and just so much fun to play around with. So our number 2 figure of 2024 from DC Multiverse. Yeah, this guy here, our armored version of Batman from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Now we talked about value. Does this figure have the value? Well, it's only $25 here in Canada. Did come with just a fist and an opened up hand. No weapons. You have to buy the Amazon exclusive here in Canada 2-pack of Nightmare Batman and this guy with the battle damaged head. So yeah, I know the value, but playing around with this figure, the fact that I don't have to do any toy surgery whatsoever, and the fact that he's just unbelievably sculpted, this big chunky monster of a figure with those imposing spikes on his boots, the articulation is absolutely fantastic. The sculpted detail just won me over on this guy, and it doesn't inhibit the articulation being this bulky. You can still throw him into some really fun dynamic poses. And then that cloth wire cape, one of my absolute favorites next to our Nightfall Batman, our Battle Damage Survivor Mode Batman. It's just so damn good. It's all frayed at the bottom. It's just like, man, you did a phenomenal job on this version of Batman, and I'm so happy to have him in the collection. Will we see more of these guys? I don't know. I think Batman vs. Superman has definitely run its course. If we get some sort of 10th or 15th anniversary, really 20th anniversary release of it or something like that, some more figures, but there's still a couple figures that need to be made from the Dawn of Justice that hopefully will be. And of course, the Justice League Zack Snyder universe, Man of Steel, even Wonder Woman, you know, maybe 1984. If you read that golden armor Wonder Woman, that would be very nice. But man, this is our number 2. Really happy with this figure. Of course, I added definite weapons to this guy. I'm getting that Amazon 2-pack. It should be arriving shortly. We're going to have a lot of fun arming him up, comparing him to that version, and maybe we'll even do an unmasked helmeted version. We'll figure that out for toy surgery. But man, I love this figure. A definite must-have for your collection. One of the absolute best figures to have for sure in your DC Multiverse lineup. All right, so now we're getting to our final figure, our number 1 figure in 2024. This one, I haven't seen him on a lot of people's lists, but there's something intrinsic about this figure that I absolutely love. And in fact, we gave him a special display stand. This will be my moniker for our 2024 figure of the year. So he's got a special display stand. This figure evokes a lot of emotions from my childhood, watching the movies. But the figure hit all 3 of our criteria. Definitely have to do no toy surgery whatsoever on this figure. You don't have to worry about the added value because it has tons of value. Build apart pieces. When you have weapons, hands, it is awesome. And of course, a fun factor. When I got this figure out of the package, man, you should check out the shorts I made on him and a bunch of other things I've posted on my other social medias. And it's just, I had so much fun with this figure. And it definitely hits everything we talked about for our top 3 factors that need to be considered when having our top 2024 DC Multiverse figure. And that is our Val Kilmer Batman Forever Batman. I never thought this would be my top figure of the year, but man, it hit everything that I was looking for on my list. It is a spectacular figure. It has a lot of amazing details, sculpted. The body work on this guy is fantastic. The articulation hits all the spots you need to get him some dynamic action poses. He does have a very nice billowy cloth cape, which has a lot of real estate. I mean, that is awesome. It's cut extremely well. It's a great material. Yeah, if we had a cloth wire, that's still something that I'm considering, but I just love the way this figure looks. I never thought in a million years this would be my number one figure, but after opening up probably close to 100 figures, playing around, doing reviews, doing shorts, doing epic battles, this figure hit everything we're looking for, and I've had so much fun with it. Let's just bring in a closer look at that head sculpt as well, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just captures Val Kilmer's look, the weapons from Batman Forever as well. It's just, man, it's just awesome. The sculpted details on the armor, the gloves, and I love the two tones. We got the flat matte for the boots and the gloves and the cowls, and we got the metallic shine of the blue, which I know a lot of people don't like, but man, I love it. I love the segmentation. It just hits on all factors. So this guy here is our number one figure of 2024. And man, what a year it's been. So we'll just kind of take a look. We got our top 10 right over here. Some amazing figures that I'm so happy to have in my collection. I'm so fortunate enough to be able to have these figures. You know, action figure collecting in 2024 is a bit of a luxury, and I'm really fortunate to have the means to collect these figures and enjoy them and share them with you. And I just really am happy. 2024 has been a spectacular year. Can't wait to see what 2025 holds for us and how we're going to get new figures, new technology, everything else that's going on. Some fan demanded, wished characters hopefully come to fruition as well. Yeah, this has been an amazing year. I want to wish all of you watching this video an amazing 2025. Have the safest, happiest New Year. I wish you all the best fortune, the best health, and of course, just keep adding to the collection and having fun. Thank you so much for watching this video, spending some time with me, and I wish you guys all the best. We'll see you in 2025.